Alright, welcome to another of bleubricks home tour series. Today we are heading up to that cluster behind me. We are heading up to a 5-room model standing at 113 square meters in size, asking price at $1.52 million, 3-bed, 2-bath, a landscape living and dining room, and of course lastly a large and functional balcony space. Walking distance to 2 key MRT stations, and if you're interested to find out more, then do check out the unit with us. Let's go. So welcome to the place. I think before we show you around the unit, let's talk a little bit about the BB facts. Alright, so where we are located is actually the Peaks at Payoh, and this is one of the very rare DBSS in Singapore. Actually, the TOP of this entire cluster here was back in 2012, so that's a very healthy 86 years remaining. Where we are standing is 139B. This block comprises of 3, 4, and 5-room HDB models, and of course, where we are standing right here today, this is a 5-room model, and I think if you're looking at such a layout, there are only 164 units available in this entire block itself. Carrying on further, let's talk a little bit about the BB floor plan analysis. So the entire floor plan here, what you're actually getting is 113 square meters in entire space right here. And what I really like about this entire layout is that you got a very nice foyer area itself. You got your living, dining space, your kitchen, service yard, as well as your home shelter, 3-bed, 2-bath. And of course, if you are a balcony lover, this layout comes with a very functional balcony space right towards the back. And this is entirely usable in terms of the balcony space. So I'm going to bring you around the house itself right from the foyer area itself. Coming on in, this is the entire area, a very private foyer area. You got your main door entrance. You got tons of shoe cabinetry space flanked towards my left. Very nice area to put your keys and your accessories. Of course, a very nice welcoming zone. Some storage space below this bench itself, so you can sit here, wear your shoes before you actually head out. And one thing I really like about this layout is that because we are located more towards the corner unit itself, one thing that we really get is lots of privacy space. Because if let's say you do leave your door open, is that essentially any neighbors walking past, you won't really get to see into your home itself. Living dining space, and of course I have to point out that this entire layout right here is actually of a very rare configuration, because this is actually what we classify as a wide angle living and dining space, which means that on the floor plan itself, your living and dining space can be encompassed within this entire zone. But as you can see, this entire configuration right here, they actually dedicated this entire zoning just to be purely their living room space. It's a very flexible usage of space. They've actually pushed out the wall a little bit, and I think this entire zoning is a very comfortable space if let's say you do need the communal area. The entire renovation of the house all has been done just about 5 years back when the owners just moved in. They redid the entire place, flooring, vinyl flooring, and of course, I'll say that the overall condition of this entire place is actually of a very well kept condition. Essentially, for the new buyer come in, you do not need to do much work at all. You can just pack your luggage and move in immediately. Before we head out to the balcony, I just want to talk a little bit about the location analysis for this particular cluster right here. Where we are located is actually in Payoh, and of course those who know this entire area will know that this is a highly centralized location and a very mature estate. In terms of walking distance to MRT station, we are not within walking distance to 1 but 2 key MRT stations. Of course, your Caldecott MRT as well as your Reno MRT, both of which is around 10 minutes walking distance. In terms of that, you got convenience of 3 MRT lines. So you got your North-South line, your Circle line, as well as your Thomson East Coast line. So I'll say that for owners who are actually staying within this cluster, they don't really need to drive. If let's say you do have a car, you have your PIE as well as your CT within minutes drive, which is really accessible. So I'll say most of the entire island within Singapore can be accessible via car within 20 minutes itself. I'll say in terms of your upcoming transformation, one key interesting point to note is that at the old Payoh Stadium, this is actually rejuvenating to be a regional sports center itself. So 12 hectares of land, you got your plethora of sports facilities. If you are a very sports savvy person, then of course that's something very interesting to look forward to. Here are your primary schools within your 1 kilometer and 2 kilometer marks. Within this entire list of schools, here are some of the notable schools to mention. Of course, your 1 kilometer mark, that's HIJ Payoh, and your 2 kilometer mark, you are within the peripheral of Catholic High itself. So the heading from your living room area, that's where your balcony space is. So this entire area can be segregated into 2 zones, as you can see right here. Very comfortably, this sits in a 4-seater dining table. I'll say this can remain, you know, you still do get a lot of space to maneuver around. So essentially, this entire area right here, very functional in terms of space. Towards your back, that's where, you know, they have a lounging corner right here. A couple of key renovations that they have done, you know, it's all these zip tracks just to weatherproof this entire area right here. So one thing I really want to highlight would be this entire unblocked facing right here. A couple of things that is going on, you know, you got your empty plots of field right there, you got your wet market, your hawker center, just minutes walk. You can actually see your Caldecott MRT station, which is just about 10 minutes walking distance. So just want to bring your attention to this massive piece of plot right in front of us. And of course, if you were to look at the URA master plan, all these plots has been zoned residential. We need to look back to understand what's going on around these areas for as long as we know. So if we were to look at the master plan since 2008, we can already understand that this entire piece of land has already been zoned residential from 2008 all the way to the later iterations of the master plan. For this piece of land to be redeveloped, there needs to be a concrete plan from the URA before any redevelopments takes place. Before that happens, I think for the entire owners within this block, they will still get to enjoy these unblocked facing right here. And what this means is that if you are an unblocked lover looking within this specific cluster, there are a couple of options for you. So number one is that, you know, you can go for a mid-floor unit such as ours. Only block 139A and 139B would be able to get this unblocked facing right here. The second option would be to get a very high floor unit that is actually surpassing the neighboring blocks to get a spectacular unblocked view. But of course, the thing to note is that with very high floor units, especially within this cluster, it usually comes at a very high premium. I think minimally based from a mid-floor comparing to a high floor unit, the difference in terms of quantum would usually be around the $100,000 to about $200,000 region itself. Yeah, I'll say that in terms of this and specific right here, one of the key highlights is that in terms of the quantum at 1.52 million, and of course with this spectacular unblocked view, I'll say that it hits a very nice sweet spot if you are someone who is hunting for an unblocked facing. Let's continue on the interior portion of the home to itself. Wide angle living as mentioned. Wall to wall, you have 5.2 meters in length. So really tons of options. I say that this kind of wide angle living landscape layout is actually something that can predominantly only be found in, you know, condo settings. Ultimately, if let's say you want to have your existing dining space where the current owner is placing their dining table, actually reorientate your living room to be fronting towards that portion. And I'll say that if you need the flexibility of having a workstation, your work desk can be fronting towards this location. Tons of flexibility in terms of what you can do with this space. Balcony space, you know, you got your lounging area. In terms of that, if you do need a home gym for the matter, with the zip blind to provide some form of weatherproofing, you can actually have a mini gym area right here. A little bit of bench press, you know, dumbbells, that can be very easily done. Let's move forward to the entire kitchen area. Owners have actually configured this to be an open kitchen concept. So they got a very nice, simple counter table right here. If you're heading out to work after a quick breakfast, this can be the area to do so. Ultimately, if you want to enclose this entire area, it can be very easily done. Just got to install tempered glass and of course dining door, a swing door towards this portion right here. Got your fridge space towards your back, a washing area, top hung, bottom storage cabinets. You got your induction cooker as well as your hood, oven at the bottom. Similarly, top and bottom storage area. Towards the back, that is where your dedicated service yard space. What they have going on right here, just a simple washing machine. I'll say that if you're looking to have a washer and dryer combo, that can be done. But what the current configuration is right now is, of course, is a washing machine and pull-up rack. So this is makes your drying extremely easy. Last but not least, you do get your home shelter in this portion right here. A little bit of recess area. So this is where your DB box as well as your home internet is located. Common bathroom right here with your bifold swing door. Similarly with the entire home, all this has been renovated just about 5 years back. Storage space, top behind the mirror, bottom in terms of your vanity closet, your shower area with your natural ventilation in terms of your window, you know, your WC at the back. Two common bedrooms right here, both are identical in size, mirror image of sorts. Pretty much you got a full height window panel, and one thing I really like about this layout is that in terms of the entire window space, I really got tons of natural light coming into the unit. So when you come by for a physical viewing, one thing you notice is that the entire layout during the day is very bright. You don't really need to turn on any lights until the evening times. I think if you are someone who loves bright unit, I think this unit might be suitable. You are getting some bay window right here. So what the owners have already done is that they have already cushioned this entire area. Very nice padding, you know, this can be a very nice lounging area areas. If let's say you want to utilize this entire space to be a bedroom, of course, all these are movable. The only fixtures, of course, is your ceiling fan, your AC, as well as your wardrobe space. Comfortably, you can actually put in a queen size bed right here, wardrobe panels towards that side. To really make full use of the bay window, of course, you can have your bed mounting over your bay window. In that sense, you know, you have a little bit more walking area towards the back portion. The secondary common bedroom, similarly, size-wise exactly the same. You know, you do get your wardrobe space, pretty much movables in this entire area. For both rooms, pretty much a blank canvas in terms of what you want the space to be. Last but not least, you know, you have your master bedroom space. This is a fantastic area to do that. Currently, what the owners have configured is actually a walk-in wardrobe section right here. Towards the back, that's where their king-size bed is at, of course. What they have already done is a simple platform in this section right here. We're going to share a little bit later on what you can actually configure this entire space to be, but before that, you have your master bathroom. All this is ensuite. Similarly, well-maintained condition, you got your storage capabilities, top behind the mirror, and of course, your bottom at your WC counter. You have this L-shaped window panel right here. Similarly, tons of natural light, really just flush it in. You get to enjoy this unblocked facing in your balcony space. If you want a bit more privacy space, you know, you can actually lower down your Venetian blinds, or if you want, you can actually alternatively install privacy films in this window panel right here. You also have a little balcony of sorts in this master bedroom section. In terms of that, you get a very nice interplay between an indoor and outdoor space within this entire house. All the windows right here actually have been installed with some form of film, so of course that will actually help to mitigate the heat itself. So what I really want to highlight for the wardrobe section is that, you know, you can have a couple options in terms of how you want to utilize this space, because you have a very nice regular shaped master bedroom, a large one. And if it was me, I'll probably remove this wardrobe right here, have the wardrobe flanking towards this section of the wall, probably utilize some of the bay window itself. Bed wise, I'll be fronting towards this direction with, you know, the bed head towards the window section. A very small section of space, you know, in terms of that, I will have a wardrobe island, you know, at that section to have a little bit of pull outs in terms of the belt, small accessories. I think it would be very nice touch to this entire area right here. You have tons of flexibility, you have options available of how you want to customize, or essentially if you want to keep things simple, you can just take over the existing renovation and minimize your costing entirely itself. Thank you for watching till the end of the home tour. If you're someone who is looking for a fast-free move-in condition unit, this unit is asking at $1.52 million, a mid-floor unit having this spectacular unblocked facing, minutes walk to 2 key MRT stations. If you'd like to find out more about this particular unit, feel free to contact our listing managers who will be more than happy to show you around the place. In the meantime, if you like what you see on this particular channel, please do like and subscribe on all our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, as well as TikTok. My name is Bryan, bleubricks by PropertyLimBrothers. Always happy to show you the place. Lines. Oh, I think so. Welcome to the BB Fact. Okay, let's go. Okay, so what can actually be done is that you can actually so of course, when you do come by for a physical visit,